Week 5 of LSBA Season 12 from 2025. Uh, we have a lot of short battles this week. This is the shortest, and it's Joey versus James. And I assume he's named Conquest after Invincible Season 3 character. I mean, I can't get enough Invincible. I've watched that 3 times. And they each have an Ogre-Pon form. Now, I think if Wellspring had used Hornleech, it might have healed enough to do a second hit. But this Hearthflame here is an Uber normally. And this last turn here, oh dang. Yep. So none of us expected this to come up, but Mold the Breaker beats Sturdy, so that's why it was a one-hit KO. No one thought that's what was going to happen. And in spite of being Thunderwaved, the Hearthflame is still faster than a sticky-webbed Meloetta. And the sun is not good for this guy. This guy resists this guy's whole moveset. And if for some reason Dragonite didn't have multi-scale, that Dragon Pulse would have done 70%. But he gets to go on doing outrages. Now, if it were me, I probably would have switched in Golden Goat, but that's why I'm not as good as James here. Because he knew that his Walking Wake would be faster in the sun with the special protosynthesis. And that the Dragon Pulse would be enough. And he has no choice but to send in his Mega Diancie. And a lot of this mess could have been avoided if he had led with Diancie and prevented the Sticky Web. Because that Sticky Web did him so much good, for real. And the terror of Ogre-Pon Hearthflame in the sun. But Joey has some really fantastic Pokemon. Next we have Dylan and Dylan's Knees, aka Taco. And in this one, Moth does some work. And this Vanillix gets its taunt quite well. If it hadn't gotten the Aurora Veil, it would have taken 64. And he sends in his Quad Resist to the Hidden Power Fire, and then does the weakest explosion in the whole world. And this Shell Smash behind an Aurora Veil is quite scary. He goes for the burn unsuccessfully. Now it's unstoppable. He's just stalling out the Aurora Veil turns. And his Quark Drive let him outspeed a shell-smashed Cloyster. So 350 plus 175 is 525. And 262 doubled is 524. It's outsped by 1 point. And then I think he has something in mind for this electric surge. I think a lot of this trouble could have been avoided if he had just sent in Alakazam to begin with. Yeah, his two fairies didn't need to go down. I think if he had switched in Alakazam to begin with, he would have won this, because it ends up being really close. And he goes with the Burning Bulwark, which is kind of like... it'll status them if they make a contact move. And we have a Scarfed Nidoking that does the job. Next we have Alex versus Azoth. the AA meeting. And this Lopunny, the Lopunny does so much work. Look at that. That's 32% just from a fake out. And then it gets its attack reduced, but I think Azoth later regrets not going for Sticky Web. And the switch for the U-turn. This is a Mega Heracross. It's a good spot because he can't switch in Landorus and do an Intimidate. The Bitter Blade does almost enough. Yeah, that Trailblaze didn't accomplish anything ultimately. And he switches in his Rock type to reduce the amount of damage from the Fake Out. And then a Brick Break, because he was worried about Ninetales Alola. And the Stone Axe misses, which is probably not game-changing, but it would have been nice for him. And then Lokix does not want to get burned. He doesn't have a whole lot to deal with a burning water type, because 3 of them left are physical attackers, and the other one's weak to water. And then this is a really cool turn. The Tinkaton gets hit with a knockoff, but then Pickpocket allows it to steal the Choice Band off of the Lokix. And then he calmly puts out a Stealth Rock, knowing that the Lokix is gonna get knocked out from the burn. Volcarona's got its heavy-duty boots. It's always got to dance. It can never not dance. Oh. And I don't think its Terra Shell really made that big of a difference, because yeah, nothing wants to switch into a Fire Blast right now. And that Giga Drain, oh. The Fake Out's still gonna KO. And then this guy's got Fire Punch, because it knows that it can get away with it. And then the rocks. The Tinkaton never even used the Choice Band. The Pickpocket ended up only being a weakness for it, because it forced it to switch out. And next we have Chartwig versus Josh. This one came in a week late, which is why this video is so late too. And then it gets the Sticky Web. And why even bother having a Sash if you're gonna go up against Melmetal? You know it's gonna double Iron Bash. it's almost certainly the thing that's going to get switched into Ribombee. And then he's got really high physical defense on this Politoed. And he's kind of stalling out his own rain turns. But it's not like you can toxic a Melmetal. And that was a very high roll for that. Melmetal, I think, should be banned. It's an Uber. It's been an Uber before. It is guaranteed to take something down with it and more. It's always at the top of my threat list. And these Moonblasts aren't doing too much good because Tornadus is just going to heal all of that with Regenerator. And we know this isn't a choiced Cinderace. He just U-turned to heal his Tornadus. And it got the hit and the confuse. That is way too much. But Melmetal can tank almost anything. It wins almost every 1v1. Oh, the focus miss was a game changer. But Tinglu is holding on. Tinglu is barely winning this. It was at like half health, reduced speed, and it only survived with 14%. Were the rocks really so necessary to get rid of? Because I think Regieleki would have been nice against his Quaquaval, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Oh, because of the focus sash. The focus sash is very important, so it was very important to get the rapid spin. And we are having so many battles this season that are under 20 turns. Finally, it's me versus Jack. Alright, Mimikyu pretty much guarantees a Trick Room. Because of its disguise, when it loses its disguise, it loses 12% hit points so that you can't put a focus sash on it. Mawile is kind of a guaranteed switch in for Tangrowth. And I needed to put something on every set to deal with Wobbuffet. And things worked out very favorably for me. I'm not certain why he had Facade. My guess is it's Rest, Drag, Coil, Facade, and Thousand Waves. Even after a Facade and U-turn, Iron Hand's substitute is still up there. And it was just enough for the Mew to lose the Sandstorm. So I didn't know that the substitute hitting it will pop the balloon, but that would be horrible if it didn't. So it makes sense gameplay wise. Alright, so and then he has his what was revealed to be a Sand Force Excadrill. It outspeeds anyway, now that the balloon is popped. And so I looked it up, and Ursa Luna was the only thing that could survive um, an earthquake. I don't know why I switched in Slowbro. I was trying to teleport. That would have been awful if it was Focus Sash. So Jack claimed that his Landorus probably could have knocked out my whole team with just Earth Power. But he says that he wanted to do. He wanted the Sand Force boost, so he sent in Tyranitar first. And he went for Stealth Rock to break any possible sash on my DNC. So he must have dragon-tailed expecting Iron Hands, because he didn't have any other good moves for Iron Hands otherwise. Like Stone Edge and Knockoff aren't going to do anything to it. It might be a Specs Landorus. And this final Trick Room turn made a huge difference. I didn't have Sucker Punch or anything. I had no priority moves. I think it is possible that Jack could have won that, but things worked out very much in my favor. Well, thanks for watching. That was week 5.